The Public Investment Corporation inquiry is continuing. Former PIC board member Dudu Hlatshwayo has been testifying. She says there were no board meetings for 5 months following Malusi Gigaba's appointment as finance minister. The PIC has been in the spotlight over claims it's mismanaged the pension funds of government employees through poor investments. eNCA's reporter Heidi Giokos is following that inquiry for us. Let's take you live to her. Heidi, good afternoon. It looks like what Hlatshwayo had to say very much contradicted at least the mood of how Malusi Gigaba projected the operation of the board.
Completely opposite to what we heard yesterday by the Deputy Finance Minister as well as the Chair of the PIC board, Malusi Gigaba, specifically relating to how the PIC board decided, to throw in the towel. You had a situation yesterday where Malusi Gigaba said that the PIC board decided together to, step aside and let the PIC Commission as well as the PIC to investigate whether or not these allegations were true or not. And then you have a situation where a former board member, Dudu Hlatshwayo, is coming and saying that we were given an ultimatum. It was either to resign or be fired. And you must remember that the board decided to resign and tendered the letter of resignation on the 1st of February. And they were given the ultimatum on the 1st to say, if you do not resign, you will be fired on the 4th of February, which is completely opposite to what we heard yesterday by the Deputy Finance Minister. And Dudu Hlatshwayo not holding back, basically saying that it was either or. You either resign or you will be fired, and you have no option to do so, because that is what the Finance Minister Tito Mboweni had directed Malusi Gigaba to advise the board. So completely opposite, completely contradictory to what we heard yesterday.
Let's talk then about that AO deal that has been central to this investigation. As far as the board is concerned, what did they know about it?
So that is a deal and an investment that the PIC made that is constantly being brought up in this Commission of Inquiry, despite the fact that the PIC has invested in other very questionable companies. But the AO technology deal is a very questionable one because, the PIC board was not fully aware of that deal. They were informed of it initially, but it was signed off within a matter of days, which is not ordinarily done when the PIC gets involved in any kind of investment. It normally takes about 3 to 4 weeks, if not longer. But Hlatshwayo basically expressed how when they were presented with the report of internal audit about that specific deal, there were a lot of loopholes and there were a lot of discrepancies and serious discrepancies regarding that deal, and why not major key directors were not suspended, given that deal was decided on, and only 2 directors had been suspended. So she was very vocal. She didn't hold back, and she's reiterated and actually expressed what we've heard from the majority of the witnesses here, that deal flouted PIC policies and processes, and it was not done the way it should have been done.
Heidi, in a situation like this, I guess it would really be the word of one board member against the chair of the board. So how many others are we expecting to hear from in terms of what their experience of serving on that board was?
Well, Kathy, we cannot disclose who will be testifying. We actually do not know who will be testifying next, because all witnesses have been placed under witness protection amid serious death threats that have been circulating to witnesses that have testified and are set to testify. So we only find out who the witnesses are when they are introduced to the Commission. But we do know that things are about to get pretty intense, given the fact that a number of board members have resigned and want to express their experiences at the Commission. So we will see other board members and top executives testify.
I'll tell you what, Heidi, even those threats against individuals who are set to testify before this commission is perhaps an indication of how serious the issues that are being dealt with at the PIC inquiry are. So let's leave it there for this afternoon.